Look, even when the main character literally knows the mathematical odds, there's still such a thing as too much of a coincidence. Hey everybody, I'm Geno Reynolds from The Real Geno. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ben Affleck's new action thriller, The Accountant. And don't worry, for the most part, it's more exciting than it sounds. A man with a high-level functioning type of autism grows up to become what I guess you could call a high-risk accountant for some of the world's worst people. Essentially, he goes in and solves their financial problems and makes a lot of money doing it. He is urged to take a low-risk job for a robotics company that has found some irregularities in their books. After finding the problem, the company seems to be covering it up, and the woman that found the problem is now being targeted. The accountant takes it upon himself to try to get to the bottom of the mystery. For starters, I just want to say that I like this movie. In a bit, it might not sound like that because I thought this one had a lot of issues that kept it from being the movie I was hoping it would be. You can tell pretty quick that this is going to be an origin story for what I can tell an original character for Ben Affleck to turn into a series. The character is already supposed to be turned into a comic book property as well. Though I enjoyed this approach for the most part, I felt that it made the movie feel like too much of a setup for future films which would probably deliver on the promise of more action and thrills. The approach to some of the characters seemed familiar with other movies that tried to do this. It felt like it was putting the puzzle pieces in place, so to speak. Maybe they should have used the comic book to fill in more of the origin story instead of the movie. The trailers for this one promise a bit more of an action ride than the movie really provides. I'm not saying that big action scenes don't happen, but it is a lot less than most people are going to expect. The story for this movie is a bit more of a slow burn which eventually leads to the action. That being said, when the action does happen, it's brutal, violent, and very entertaining. They probably could have eased up on the Bourne shaky cam though. Though it would be a pretty big spoiler to give the details, I can say that I also felt that a lot of the story fit together a little too well, which made a lot of it feel like too much of a coincidence. The plot and characters have to come together in such a way that it feels almost too neat and clean. Even the few twists in this movie feel that way. Still, now that the story is set up in the end, I would like to see where it is going to go. When it comes to the characters, this is where the movie is at its strongest. The best way I can describe Affleck's character is that he is a mix of Will Hunting from Good Will Hunting and Jason Bourne from the Bourne series. Way to borrow from your best friend there, Ben. Look, I kid, but really those two characters are what popped into my head even after seeing the trailer for this movie. I really enjoyed that his character could be the nice guy one second and then a switch would be flipped and he'd be shooting guys in the face next. This is just only one of the things that made him unpredictable and interesting to watch. It took me a bit, but I liked Kendrick in this as well when I finally figured out what they were trying to do with the romantic angle of the story. At first I thought that the chemistry wasn't working between Affleck and Kendrick. I thought that it was coming off as awkward until I realized that it is supposed to be how it comes off. Both of them are playing socially awkward characters, so it makes a lot of sense they are the way they are. When it came to the rest of the cast, they are as good and or reliable as you would expect. Jon Bernthal, who should be a leading man by now in my opinion, maybe the Punisher will change that, plays a character that is hired by the main antagonist to do his dirty work. I don't want to say much, but you can tell that he is a very damaged character by the time the movie is over. J.K. Simmons plays a grizzled treasury agent that is hot on the accountant's trail, and of course he plays it the way J.K. Simmons would, which is great. I don't really have much to say about Cynthia Dye Robinson's character other than she did fine for a character that is important to the overall narrative. Rounding out the main cast is Jeffrey Tambor and John Lithgow, who always deliver, and this movie is no different. Though it didn't give me the exact movie I was hoping for and was relying on too many coincidences, I still enjoyed this movie for its characters and promising future installments should they get them. If you can handle the pacing and lack of promised action, I think you will enjoy this one too, but remember, it's only just one guy's opinion. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I want to hear from you, so please feel free to comment below, and if you like what you've seen here, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to The Real Geno YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Geno Reynolds from The Real Geno.